Top 5 battle scenes, let's go. Number 5, Hacksaw Ridge. This movie had two things really going for it. Number 1, this guy, Desmond Doss. He was a conscientious objector, so he didn't want to carry a weapon, but he still wanted to serve his country. And entering a battlefield unarmed ups the bravery factor considerably. Number 2, the great battle scenes. This movie was a really great telling of the experiences of Desmond Doss. Number 4, Braveheart. There is nothing like movies from the 90s. Maybe it was the writing, maybe it was the lighting and the lack of filters, but something about a movie from that decade just stuck with you longer. Braveheart had really great period-specific wardrobe, and it was just fun to watch. If the point of a movie is to transport you, then this movie did the job. So here's a genuine question for the guys out there. This movie was filmed at the height of Mel Gibson's heartthrob phase. So when someone like that is the lead in an action movie, do guys look past it, or do you secretly think, look, this pretty boy swinging his sword around like he owns the place? I've always been curious. Either way, great battle scenes. Braveheart makes the list. Number 3, Nobody. This might be one where I stand alone, but I stand by this pick. Nobody stars Bob Odenkirk, who plays a guy who appears to be taking the path of nonviolence more times than he can stand. And finally, he decides to clean up the streets a bit, and it makes for some very satisfying fight scenes. The fight scenes aren't choreographed in such a way that he takes on 10 thugs and doesn't get a scratch. He gets hit plenty of times, but he is always the last man standing, so the satisfaction level of this movie is quite high. The other refreshing thing about Nobody is that they didn't linger on the slower parts of the story. The writers didn't have that need to explore his home life and his personal relationships. They touched on it enough that you got the point, and then they got right to the good stuff. 2 thumbs up. Number 2, The Matrix. The opening scene of The Matrix. Not the gun scene with Neo, I hear you say? No, not the gun scenes with Neo, not him dodging bullets, but this scene with Trinity. But let me tell you why. For starters, this is the first time anyone had shot a movie in this style, so right off the bat, within the first 5 minutes, it had audiences' full attention. Special effects that were new at the time put a brand new twist on the fight scene that allowed for a higher suspense level for audiences. The second thing they did well in this opening sequence is that they established very effectively the threat level of the agents. Now, we didn't know anything about them at this point, but if someone so effective at fighting as Trinity was rattled by the presence of agents, we knew they must be bad. Great action, great storytelling. The Matrix makes the list. And number 1, Saving Private Ryan. The first 20 minutes of this movie is probably the most accurate reenactment of a historic battle we've seen from Hollywood. And besides just creating a great battle scene for this movie, what this opening scene did, at least for me, was to show the potential there is for movie makers. If you had the budget and the discipline not to stray off topic by telling the story of someone's sweetheart back home, you could really bring to life the scale and significance of these battles. There are so many incredible military events that could fill 90 minutes easily. Stories of ingenuity and risk and outmaneuvering the enemy. If there is ever a writer and director that could tell one of those stories, we'd have a real gem on our hands. Let me know some of your favorites in the comments. Thanks for watching.